there, this is Vahid from vrfeducation channel, and today I'm going to talk about how to do things in parallel in Qt framework. For this purpose, Qt provides a couple of ways. As with all other programming languages, we can make use of threads inside Qt to do things in parallel. And also, Qt provides another framework or another module named Qt concurrent that's going to help us a lot to do things in high level approach instead of getting into working with low-level things. For example, using QThread, inheriting from QThread, create another method to do things for us, and other stuff like that. In this session, I'm going to focus on how to use QThread inside Q applications, and in the other sessions, I'm going to talk about how Qt concurrent can help us in order to do things in parallel. Qt concurrent provides different methods for different purposes, and it's very useful and also fantastic to do things in parallel. Okay, let's go to Qt Creator and see how we can make use of QThread in our application to do things in parallel. For this purpose, I'm going to create a new project. This time, I'm going to choose QWidget application because I'm going to show you what I really mean by freezing the current state of the application. So this project name is thread sample, and I'm going to leave everything just as default. And yeah, that's it. Okay, this is a project. Let's do a couple of things in main window. First, I'm going to add 2 buttons or 3 buttons. This one is run. This one is message 1, and this one is message 2. And I also want to put a label on the form. When these 2 message buttons clicked, I want to show a message inside this label. So we are going to be sure that our current UI is not phrased. And let's change the name. This one is btm1. This one is btm message 1. And this one is btm message 2. And this is LBL message. So let's create plot for the click signal. This is for the first one, this is for the second one, and this is for the third. This is for btm1. Let's promote, go to slot and connect. For this one, let's compile it. I'm going to say that UI.L message. I think I should wait until the build process finished. Okay. But set message, set text to message 1. And also I'm going to copy this one and paste it here. This time I'm going to choose message 2 as a text. And also, I'm going to create another class inside my application. It's a ++ class. The name is sample thread. It will inherit from QObject, and also I need to add QObject. Let's change the name also to this notation. And that's it. Yeah. Here, I'm going to create a public method named doWork. And here I'm going to receive a parameter named n, and the default value is 20 for that. And here I'm gonna just write, just create a loop for from 0 to n, and write the current value of I to the console or to the output. Let's bring QDebug to this class. And also I'm going to use QThread because I'm going to simulate a very time-consuming task here. And between each iteration, I'm going to use QThread sleep method. And here I'm gonna say between each one, please sleep for 200 milliseconds. So do we have any MS sleep method? Okay, yeah, MS sleep method is much better because it's received parameter in milliseconds. And in the main window, I'm going to create an instance of this sample thread class. So first I'm going to include it inside the header file, sample thread, and yeah, and a sample thread, named it on the line thread. And what we really need to do is to call do work in the btr1 clicked. So let's see what happened if I run the application. QObject macro does not contain, yeah, I said, yeah, include QObject. I forgot to inherit from QObject class. So this is it. For current example, it's not necessary to inherit from QObject or even using QObject module, but because I need it very soon, so I added them right now. So we're waiting for the application. Yeah, this is the application. And here, if you see, when I click these buttons, message change. And if I press run, something happened in the console. But if I cannot click on these buttons, you can see nothing happened. And I need to wait until the process finished. And after that, UI get out of the freezing, and I can work with the other part of the application. So this is the main problem that we are facing when we want to do a time-consuming task in the main thread of the application. Now let's see, how can I resolve this problem? We have two different approaches. First one is to use QThread class, and the other one is to inherit from QThread in our application, in our class. Okay, let's do the first one. For the first approach, we need to have some slots in our classes. So I need to change this do work method to a slot. Okay, a slot is just the same as ordinary method inside our classes, but we can connect signal with those slots. And when we emit a signal, then we're able to run that slot automatically without calling it directly, although we can call it directly. So this is a slot, and here inside the main window, I'm gonna also create a signals void start operation, and inside the btr1, instead of calling this do work method, I'm gonna emit this signal start operation. And also here, instead of in addition to sample thread, I need an instance of QThread also. I'm going to name it, I should change the naming. This is sample, and this one is thread. Okay, let's also add the include file. And in the constructor, first I need to connect this slot to this signal to the slot inside the sample class. For this purpose, I'm going to use connect, and from this class, and main window, I'm going to choose what? Start operation. This is the signal, and I want to connect it to a slot inside the sample thread class, and that is do work. So that's it. Okay, let's see if it works or not. I'm running the application. Okay. Oh, I forgot to add parameter here. So we're waiting for application. Yeah, it's the application. If I click the run, you can see everything is done just like before, but again the UI freezed, and after the operation done, I'm able to work with these two buttons. So this is nothing but just changing a way to call do work method using signal and slots. And here, to prevent this UI freezing, I need to tell this sample class move to thread. So this is a method that implemented inside QObject class, and in this class we inherit from QObject, so we are able to use it. And say, okay, which thread should I move on? I say it's better to go underline thread. This is the thread that I designed for you. And after that, I need to start the thread. So I start the thread, and this thread waiting. Yeah, that's okay, I think. I need to pass the address of the instances. So here, this thread start and wait for some operation to be done, and that operation will be done when I emit this signal. Let's run the application and see what happened. This time, if I run the application, you can see I'm able to work with this button simultaneously while the application or while the operation done in the background in another thread. So this is the first way that we can move our calculations or our jobs into a thread. We don't need to inherit from QThread class. We just need to move our class that inherits from QObject to a thread, to another thread, start the thread and waiting for some slots to be called. This is the first approach. Now let's see how we can do this by inheriting from QThread. So I need to go to sample thread class. This time, instead of inheriting from QObject, I'm just inherit from QThread. And if you press Alt-Enter, you can insert some virtual functions. One virtual function that is very important here is run. This run method is the method that when a thread starts will be called automatically. So we need to write our code inside the run method. Because I just created the do work method here, I'm just going to call this one here, and that's okay. And also you can remove this public slot because it's not need to be a slot anymore. And let's go to main window. Here again, you don't need to connect signal to a slot and also move this class to a thread and something like this. And at last, when you want to run the application, you need to just say underline sample. This is the instances of class dot start. Instead of calling do work, you need to start call the start method. By this calling, the run method will be run automatically, and then inside that run method, I called the do work. So this is the flowchart of the program. Now let's run the application. Okay, you can click the run, process start. You can work with these two buttons simultaneously without any freezing. So that's it. The primary thing you need to do is inherit from QThread. Oops, I run the application. Run from QThread. Write your code, the code that you want to run on another thread in the run method. Let's stop this application. And then outside the class, you just need to call the start method of that class, the start method implemented inside the QThread. Okay. There's also a couple of useful signals that you can use to be informed when a thread starts or stopped or finished inside your application. For example, here I'm gonna say connect from sample, and the signal is started with connected with this with a slot in my class named, for example, state changed. Okay, that's it, and let's duplicate it here. I want to connect the finished slot to this specific finished signal to this specific slot. So let's create slot void state changed. Change it to 1 and 2 right now because I want to show you messages from starting and finishing options. So here I'm going to say UI.lbl message.set text thread started, and let's copy this one and paste it here. This time I'm going to say finished, and also let's change them respectively 1 and 2. Let's see what we have. So this is the application. If I press the run, you can see thread started shown inside the label, and after the execution finished and the thread finished also, so the signal will be emitted automatically. Now here we can decide for something else if we want to, and also if we want to terminate a thread during its runtime, let's call it kill. Change it to btn kill, and create a slot for this one. And I'm going to say if underline sample is running, okay, and then call terminate method. Terminate method will terminate the thread completely. So this is the application. I run it and I press kill. Okay, as you can see, during the execution, I killed the thread, so the execution stopped and it doesn't continue. Let's see. I want to run it one more time, and here you can call with these methods and also call kill and kill. If I call kill when the thread is not running, nothing happened because I checked for this one. I run it one more time and I press kill. Yeah, during the execution, thread killed. Let's see what we have. The other option that is available with QThread is a wait method. This method, as the name implies, is a way or a mechanism that we can wait until the process of one thread finished, and we can use it to synchronize one thread with the others or with the other part of the application. Let's see what does it mean. Imagine that I want this message to appear in the label after the process of QThread finished, okay, or that thread finished. For this purpose, I'm just gonna say sample wait. Here it says I'm waiting for sample thread to be finished, and after that, other instruction or other commands here will be executed. And let's comment this finish slot because it's gonna override the message to after the process finished. And let's run the application. Okay. If I press run, if I press message 1, if everything is okay, message 2, message 1, because here we don't have any thread running, message 2 will be appeared on the label, okay? And if I press run, so I press message 1, okay? And if I press message 2, UI freeze until the process finished, okay? Let's run it one more time. This is message 1. I'm going to run the application, message 1 and message 2. Process will freeze, and after the process finished, message 2 will be appeared in the label, okay? So that is it. You can wait until the process finished completely. And also you can provide a number here, the amount of time that you can wait until the process finished. For example, I say I'm going to wait here for 3 seconds, 3000 milliseconds in fact. And also let's change the time here to 500 milliseconds. And let's run the application. It says that, okay, I'm waiting for this process to finish. up to 3 seconds, and after that I'm going to continue my execution. Another command after the wait method will be executed. Okay, I'm going to click run. Message 1 works, and I click message 2. After 3 seconds, message 2 will be appeared in the label, and the execution will continue in the background and on the other thread also. So this is the way that we can use wait method in order to wait for something happen in other threads, or even to join to synchronize outputs of some threads together. This is it. So these are the basic concept of running things in parallel in Qt using QThread. Qt also provides another way for this purpose named Qt concurrent, and I'm gonna check the capability of this framework in the next session. Till next session, and talking about Qt concurrent capabilities and features. Goodbye.